Demo is a demo of our website or API for the Blockchain Voting Systems group. Basically, this is the first screen that once the user opens our app or website, or API, if you will, that they will see. This can be found on any mobile device, any desktop or non-mobile device, or in person at any approved voting center. Since this is the first thing they'll see, the user will have a choice. If they're not already signed up, they can enter their email here and sign up, or they can go to this button and sign in. For the sake of showing everything, I will go ahead and enter an email here. Once the user signs up, they can enter in all of this different information. All of it will be backed and validated by the election authority in that country, so they can make sure that they are approved to vote, and so we don't have any miscalculated votes or miscalculated records, allowing people who aren't authorized to actually access our system and vote. For the sake of time simplicity, I'm going to just go ahead and sign in. Once the user signs in or signs up, they'll be taken to the same home screen where they can see this. They'll be able to scroll down and see multiple things. The first of which is on the left side. It's a section of all the different ballots they have outstanding that they have not already voted with. The next they'll be able to see is a statistics section showcasing several different levels of stats for different areas of the elections. They can see how many issues they have broken down by different levels, or in this example, they can also see voter participation in issues that they're involved in, showing, hey, how many people are actually voting, how many people haven't voted, and how much my vote is worth, essentially. And then down here, they'll be able to see election information. When we actually sign the user up, we take in location information, and we validate that through government records. That allows us to specialize these links right here, so that we can take the user to their federal government website. We can take them to a state government website in which they are located. So say they were, in Colorado, the state government link would take them to the Colorado .gov website and all things elections. And then they can also see a link to their local municipality website. All of these allow them to get in-depth explanations of all the issues they have outstanding, all the issues that may be on the ballot or may not actually affect them. We'll talk about how they see these issues and how they vote on these issues in a little bit. The next thing they'll be able to see is if you come to this menu over here, they'll be able to click on that and go to a section labeled About. This About section not only showcases information about us personally and our technology, but it also showcases all the transparency and security behind blockchain and how it's being used in this system. That can be found down here. Essentially, what this allows us to do is to put information out to the user aside from educational materials that we'll push out on a societal level. This allows us to just give them a glimpse once they're in our site about how everything's being used, how are we tallying the votes, how quick this turnaround is, how we are securing their votes using blockchain, and being ultra transparent allows us to also increase election participation because users will have more faith in us and won't have to place their faith in the election authority. They can trust a third party that has no bias or specific special interest in the election results. After seeing all the transparency about blockchain, they can come to this last informative section labeled Ballots. What this allows the user to do is, depending on how many ballots they have outstanding, whether it's one or multiple, if it's just one, they'll be taken to the only ballot they have outstanding, in which they can cast all of their votes for any election positions on the left side and any ballot measures on the right side. If they have multiple outstanding ballots, they'll be taken to something we like to call a ballot hub, where they'll have information on each specific ballot they have outstanding and be able to choose which one they vote on when and in what order. After they fill out all of this and submit the vote, they'll be able to access a screen similar to the About screen, but only accessed once they submit the vote button. That shows them exactly where their votes go. They're tallied immediately, and then also shows a little bit more in-depth stats and takes them back to the overview screen. And all of this is, securely encrypted in such a way that we cannot allow outside users, both through our own website encryption and government-backed verification of voters. At the end of the day, once they're done, they'll be able to hit this log out button, which takes them immediately back to the sign up screen or the sign in screen if they so please, and allow them to log back in or go about their merry way and continue their lives after they're done voting. And that is all for our voting blockchain implementation.